Hello, my name is Lillian Akibe. Welcome to my channel. Growing long hair is the dream of most women. No wonder there are several articles and videos online that teach people how to grow their hair long. Sadly, there are also thousands of products in the market that claim to miraculously grow hair overnight, and so many people have fallen for this cheap lie. As a result, they've been defrauded of their hard-earned money. If you've ever fallen prey to any of these fraudsters, then I totally sympathize with you and I understand your pain and your frustration. It can be so annoying when you spend so much money buying all these expensive products that claim to grow your hair miraculously, and all just so that you use them and realize that you've been defrauded. So I totally understand. The thing is, growing long hair is not rocket science. Like, there are certain basic things that so many people overlook that results in them having the same stunted hair growth year after year, despite the fact that they use thousands and thousands of expensive hair products. So in this video, I'm going to be sharing 8 of them with you. So get your pen and your notepad and let's get into it. So before we go into the video, I know you're wondering, why should I receive tips from this girl that has a TWA? Well, my hair is actually one shrunken right now. This is not the true length of my hair. If you are a returning subscriber, you know that my hair shrinks a lot. So from time to time, I like to wear my hair in a shrunken state, and that's exactly what I'm doing now. What I want to share with you guys today is the fact that protective styles do not grow hair. I know that this is different from what you're used to, but this is actually the truth. In fact, if protective styles actually grew hair, black women will have the longest hair in the world, because, like, let's face it, we originated protective styles. Like, there is no other race that wears protective styles like black women, but that's not really the case. That just goes to show that protective styles on its own do not grow hair. The only way you're going to see growth when you wear protective styles is like how you care for your hair throughout the period that you wear the protective style. So what I mean is how you install the protective style, how you maintain the protective style, and the takedown. I'm sure that most of you have already heard that, okay, yeah, the protective style does not grow your hair. The only way that you can see growth is if you keep your hair moisturized while you're wearing the style. That is true, but that's not the complete truth. It's not just about slapping on some like braids or like some twists and then moisturizing your hair every 2 days while you're wearing the braids and then you're going to see growth. I'm sure some of you may have tried that and you still realize that you still do not see growth even though you do all of those things that you've been hearing. The thing is, the first step to having protective styles that you may have some growth after taking them down is the install. How do you install the style? Were you gentle enough when you started installing the style? Did you do the style too tight? Do you have, if you are using extensions to do the style, do you have a good proportion of your hair to extension? Like, that is really important. If you put like just a small chunk of hair and you put a heavy load of extension in that small chunk of hair, throughout the style, like, the extension is going to be kind of like weighing your hair in such a way that after, when you take it down, you're going to encounter so much breakage even though you've been moisturizing your hair throughout the period you're wearing the style. So how you install the style is also very important. After installing protective styles, okay, let's assume you've done all the right things, you detangled properly when you're installing protective styles, you did not put too much extensions in your hair and things like that. The next step is, well, how you care for your hair while in the protective style, and this is the part that most people focus on. So I'm very sure you've heard that a million times. Keep your hair moisturized. It's not just put your hair in the protective style and forget about it for the next 1 month that you're going to be wearing the style. Try to keep your hair moisturized. You really do not need to wash your hair in the protective style, but if you notice that your scalp is getting like itchy and stuff like that, then you can like do like light wash, or you can clean your scalp. It's very important to start on clean hair so that throughout the period that you're going to be wearing the style, your hair is not going to get too dirty before you take it down, because you started on a clean state in the first place. Also, the kind of products you use when you're wearing protective styles matters a lot. If you put like too heavy products that attract dust, you're going to have dust building up throughout the period that you're wearing the style. Number one, those dirt and dust that build up can cause itchiness on the scalp, and that will just, and when you're scratching and scratching your scalp too often, you may end up injuring your scalp, and that can cause trauma that will prevent hair growth in those areas. If you're wearing protective styles, you should try to like moisturize with light products that are more like spritz that go deep into your hair. Another thing that most people do not tell you is that when you're moisturizing your hair, since you're wearing protective styles, most times your hair is in the extensions. Like, most times you really do not see your hair outside, because like that's the point of a protective style, to cover your hair. So putting products that really do not penetrate into your hair will not be doing you a lot of good, because you're basically just moisturizing your extension, not your hair. So use products that penetrate into your hair, just so that your hair is going to be kept moisturized while in the style. Also, how you moisturize your hair on the installation, like when you're installing the style, matters a lot. The purpose of keeping your hair moisturized when it's in a protected style is that the fact that your hair is in a protected style does not mean that it's not going to move. Most times, even if you're wearing long braids, you're going to style it in different ways and things like that, so your hair is constantly moving. So if your hair is dry in the protective style, as it moves, it's going to break, and so when you take it down, you're going to see so much hair lost. After that, the next step is takedown. This takedown is so important, and I feel like so many people overlook it. It is normal for you to have some locking depending on how long you wear the style. So let me use styles with extensions that are worn for a long period of time, for example. So if you're wearing a style with extensions and you wear it for like 3 weeks or more, you are going to experience some form of locking when you take it down. So being kind and gentle enough when you're taking it down, knowing the right techniques to take it down, so that you are gentle enough that you do not like just rip through knots and rip through tangles, is very important. If you've done all the right things when you install and all the right things when you're taking care of the style, and then when you want to take down, you're not careful enough, all the hair growth that you have gathered throughout the 1 month or more that you have worn that style will all be gone, including hair that you had before. So the takedown is so important. Keeping your hair moisturized throughout the period you're wearing the style also helps to make takedown a lot easier. So the technique of takedown is also very important. Make sure that you are gentle. Make sure that you are aware that your hair is supposed to have some form of locking when you're taking it down. So bear that in mind when you're detangling. Be patient enough to detangle. Use like a lubricating product, it's good nice spirit, water, oil, butter, like to just make takedown easier. Next reason why your hair is not growing is that you're not being gentle enough to your hair. And if you watch my previous video, you know that I swear by this. You need to be gentle to your hair. Like I am usually very passionate, and I always feel bad whenever I say this, because so many people are not gentle. They are not gentle. Like if you watch videos on YouTube or on any other website, and you watch videos of people with long hair, there's one thing that they all have in common. It's not everyone deep conditions, not everyone wear protective styles, not everyone uses the LCO or the LOC method or whatever. All those things vary, but there's one thing that everyone with long hair has in common, is that they are gentle to their hair. How gentle may vary, but there's one thing that is constant with everyone that has long hair is that they are gentle. You cannot not be gentle and think that your hair is going to grow. And this is where knowing the techniques for handling your hair matters a lot. For example, someone with kinkier hair, tight coils, you cannot just take a comb and dig it into your hair and zoom. You are detangling. Someone with looser coils can get away with that, you know. But for us with kinkier textures, you have to start from the end and gently work your way. You even have to first start with your fingers to remove tangles and knots before you go in with a comb, you know, things like that. Also, when you're installing styles, different protective styles, or just like a random style, you need to be really gentle, because our hair is like really kinky and it's really coily. Some things that so many people can get away with, we can't get away, because for one of the reasons is that most of the hair practices that we do, we copy from people with looser textures. And for them, like especially for people with straighter hair, their ancestors have been taking care of their hair for years. Like all the tools, most of the hair tools we have now were made having them in mind. When you were making those tools, they did not have me in mind. They did not have you in mind. If you have hair like me, they did not have you in mind. So most of those tools were created having people with looser hair or straight hair in mind. So you cannot take those tools and use them in the exact same way and expect to see the same results, because they were not made with you in mind. So always have that in mind, like when you're doing things to your hair and when you're using things in your hair and things like that. I've done my research. I watched like several videos of people with straight hair just to like have an idea of like how their hair care routine is and things like that. They also have tangles too, like their hair tangles too, and that's why you find most of them brushing their hair frequently, as opposed to us. Like we do not need to brush our hair so frequently because our hair is not straight. Apart from that, like too much brushing can cause damage on your hair. The brushes that they use are gentle for their hair because of the nature of their hair, but if you use those same brushes in the same way that they use them on your own hair, it may not be as gentle. So that's what you should have in mind when I talk about being gentle to your hair. Like, pay attention whatever you do to your hair, whether you are doing a protective style, whether you are washing, whether you are detangling, whatever you do, just bear in mind that no matter what I do, I need to be gentle to my hair. No matter what I do, I need to be kind to my hair. And you're going to notice that your hair is going to start growing really fast. Apart from that, you're going to lose a lot less hair. You're going to encounter less breakage, less shedding, and things like that. Being gentle, I cannot overemphasize it. It is so important. If you want your hair to grow, this is something that you cannot overlook. You have to be gentle to your hair, or you're not going to see any growth. And if your stylist is not gentle, please change your stylist. That's something that we have passed from generation to generation. Other people with other hair textures have passed hair care from generation to generation, but we have passed bad hair practices from generation to generation. So it takes some to inform yourself on what is good for your hair and what is not, because we grew up seeing all these things as the norm. Generally, we take better care of our extensions and our wigs than we take care of our hair, and that should not be the case. Because of nature of like what I do, I have a YouTube channel, I have an Instagram page that shares things about hair. Apart from that, I like to do my hair a lot, so I manipulate my hair very often, like more often than the average person. It's not something you should do, but I do that a lot. Nevertheless, I'm still able to retain length. Over the years, I've still been able to retain length despite the fact that I manipulate my hair a lot, and I owe that so much to being gentle. If you keep your hair in a protective style and you don't touch it, and I find that like so many people, they ask me how come people say that protective styles help to grow hair. If you want your hair to grow, leave it alone. And how come you do your hair so often and your hair is still growing faster than mine that I leave my hair alone? You know, people say that to me a lot. And I always keep telling them, if you leave your hair in a protective style for years and then every time you come in contact with your hair, you're not being gentle, you're just wasting your time. It's just a waste. You're not going to see progress. You're not going to see any improvement in your hair, despite the fact that you do not touch it often the way like that I do. If you watch my videos, you know that I'm really gentle whenever I handle my hair. I'm so gentle. Like what so many other people just rush through, I take my time because I cannot afford to overlook some of those things because I do my hair so often. So I have to be extra gentle than the average person that manipulates their hair less frequently. So like that's just the principle behind it. The more frequently you manipulate your hair, the more gentle you need to be, because for every time you come in contact with your hair, there's potential for you to break your hair. So being gentle helps to make sure that you're only removing shed hairs when you come in contact with your hair, not causing breakage. You're just removing shed hairs, and that's the standard I always try to meet up to every time I'm manipulating my hair.
Next episode on 8 reasons why your hair is not growing.
You're going to be less stressed when you let your hair be what it is. Like, that is the truth. So